All right, so let's talk money again. Now I wanna talk a bit about again to talk about my past and whatnot. So in the particular house that I was in, money was something. Like money was something special, and everybody had a taste of it. Everybody, even in the name, people in my life, or people who were literally just around, they had a taste for money. I noticed. You know what I mean? There was a neighbor, and I still remember. He goes to me, he shows me in his hand. He's got like toonies and loonies, and he tells me, he goes, I take these and I put them in like a little whatever, in a case or jar or something. And he goes, after about a year, I got like $500-600 in there. You know what I mean? And then I go and I spend that money on stuff just out of entertainment, right? I still remember that. But the thing is, everybody had a different kind of obsession with money, and they used to always. I was rebuked a lot because of the fact that I wasn't part of any group. You know what I mean? That I would never join. That I would never become like. You know what I mean? They felt like I was better off with people who would become like me versus me becoming like them. So I was always getting rebuked, and I was always told that I was an outcast, that there was something wrong with me, that I was just lazy, or I didn't try hard, that I was strange or weird, that I was nerdy, and all these things I would hear all the time. You know what I mean? That I was a loner, that I didn't trust anybody. I was all this stuff that I was told. Now everybody had their own special, I would call it like a love for money. Like they loved money. Like they just loved it. They loved money. They loved having a vehicle, like a car. They loved being able to go out on the weekend and spend money. They loved being able to spend money on alcohol or marijuana or whatever it was. They loved going out with friends and having a dinner or eating out. So all these people, and even buying items for themselves, buying clothes and whatever to for their own style, whatever their style was. So everyone here had some kind of affection or some kind of attachment to money, which I could never gain. Now I'll tell you. So my idea was that once I got my own apartment, that I would become a super success, like finally get over that roller coaster loop. You know what I mean? Like my life was repetitively like this and fall back. This every time I was about to get over the loop, and I knew once I got over, I go down on a slope and I'd be right into the end. But every time I got to that initial loop, I fell back. You know what I mean? So but I did, yeah. Anyways. Yeah. So, by the way, I hated roller coasters, and I did 2 or 3 just because, people criticized me and said you're not, you're being weird or whatever. So I would do things to make me normal, and again I would just fall back, right? But anyways, the point is every even I knew people in school and stuff, and they had this attachment to money. I don't care if I have to work after school every day and on the weekend, because I will work in order to get money. You know what I mean? I don't care if I have to make friends or I make friends with someone who works at or who owns a restaurant, and I will take their car to get an oil change done. Like they'll tell them, listen, I got to get an oil change done. You take my car, get the oil change done. I'll give you money, right? And then take the car and do whatever you want for the day, because I'm gonna be at my business anyways, or my restaurant. You go and take the car and have fun all day with the car. Go here and there and whatever you want to do. And they do it. And I saw this this love for money. I saw a lot of fakery. I saw people who were pretending like money didn't matter, and they would pretend like money didn't matter. Because they cared about religion, or they cared about values, or they cared about being a good person. And it was all an act. It was just bullshit. they were just as greedy for money as the next person, if not more. But I never had. So I thought I'd get my apartment and everything would work. I started making money. I do all that stuff, and I did. Again, I almost went over the loop. I get a job. I'm making incredible money. All right, for that time, for me, 19 years old, a lot of money, and I'm working like 15 hours a day. You know what I mean? So I'm making crazy money. You know what I mean? If I stuck there, I would have so much money. And my initial idea was that to rent the apartment, and after I'm done renting it, to actually buy a house. To buy a house at 20 years old, to buy a house and continue living my life the way I did. But, didn't matter how beautiful the circumstances were. Oh, I got my own apartment. I'm living there. I got money. I got this. I got that. Oh, life is supposed to be amazing. No matter what happened, I could not get out of that shell. And that is when I absolutely became convinced that I will forever I will be a slave-minded, self-enslaved individual. I truly believe that. And I finally got out of it. But anyways, the point is, I thought that would give me that insatiable want for money. But it didn't. Living on my own, as part of survival, in order to survive and not go homeless, I had to pay my way. So I was going to do whatever I had to do to survive. So yeah, money was something for me, but all money became was a survival tool for me. I need money to not die. You know what I mean? That's all it was. Because rather than have somebody take care of me, at 19 years old, I'm living on my own, in my own apartment. And I didn't take a cent from anybody. And I knew that if I didn't pay my rent, and if I didn't have money, if I wasn't able to get food, that I would die. And that's all that mattered to me. Okay, that's what money became, a survival tool for me, right? Now, I just, again, I tried my best. I tried everything I could, but money would never, I could never become like these people, and money could never become a thing for me. Money could have no value for me. It had no value for me. I believe, so I told you that I believe it was at age 22 that I got a part-time job working in men's clothing or footwear sales. And again, that was supposed to get me more closer to, to being that type. It helped me a bit to understand fashion, but that was it. Then I got that valet job, and I was working full-time. I was able to buy clothes and things like that again and go out. But again, the money didn't do anything. Now, somebody hit me up with money. A person I met, he kept telling me about Colombia, and he told me about a particular city, which I spent less time in, but I went. And I actually saw him there, and we hung out for a little while. We hung out for the night. And so this guy was selling me on money. Listen, if you go to that city, if you go to Colombia, you go to that city, you can, for like really cheap amount for your dollar here, you can get a nice condo, a nice apartment, blah, blah, blah. And he was right. But that's not the Colombia of today, because the business has increased there. The peso, you're not going to get that many pesos for your dollar. And if you want to eat good food, American food or whatever, you're paying higher than the price that you pay in America. I'm being honest. I went to American barbecue place in Colombia. If you go there today, you're going to pay more than you pay for barbecue in Texas or Florida. And I'm not joking about that. I'll tell you again, Arizona or wherever it is, Arizona, Texas, Florida, the price you pay for barbecue there in American dollars, you're paying more in the same currency, if you want to put it. You're paying more in Colombia for the same Texas barbecue, American barbecue. And I'm not joking about that. You're paying more now. But the point is that he got me. Now, I went to Colombia, came back. I told you about how life changed. But I'll tell you what I really began. And everybody, this is when the struggle began. The struggle began the day I robbed that bank. Okay. Something about robbing a bank. You see, I had an issue with robbing a convenience store. I thought about it. I went, why would I want to go rob a small little convenience store that's owned by Kim or Mufasa or whatever his name is? He owns this convenience store. Poor guy has worked his whole life, has worked 20 years to put his savings together to open a convenience store. And here I am going to go in and rob him for his cash and take whatever's in the register. I was thinking about it and I was like, dude, I can't do it. That's his livelihood. You know what I mean? I remember going to a food truck and meeting this guy who ran the food truck. He was new to Canada. He had put together money to run a food truck, and he ran that food truck till like 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning. I mean, he ran it from day to night until the party people would come out, and there would be lineups to get stuff from his food truck, because that was the only food that they could get at that time. It was open at the time, and it was right across a big hotel. So he was earning money, and that was his price. So I'm thinking of something like that. I'm like, dude, how am I gonna rob this guy's convenience store? You know what I mean? He's put everything in his life and soul into this shit. I'm not gonna go and rob his register. I can't do that. So when I was eyeing a place to rob, and when I was thinking about it, I was like, man, it's gotta be the bank, man. You know what I mean? Bank. First of all, not only is bank robbery the top hierarchy of the criminal, but it's a bank, man. You know what I mean? It's a bank. They got shitloads of money, all right? They are filthy rich, okay? You know what I mean? They capitalize off everything. You know what I mean? This is a bank, man. Federal, government bank. You know how much money these guys got? They got money out the wazoo, man. They get government money and customer money. They got money out the wazoo. They do mortgages, they do houses, real estate, they do business loans. Banks was the number one target in Canada when I was living there. I don't know about the States. I don't know. But in Canada, that was the number one target. And the bank was called TD Canada Trust. And I make a joke that I came up with recently, or about last year. I came up with a joke, and I said that it should have been called TD Trust Canada, but it's backwards, Canada Trust. It's the opposite of Trust Canada. So I chose a bank, and something about doing the whole operation by myself, the planning, the execution, the getaway, right? The fact that I executed it all myself, and that it was cold hard cash, and that it was the top of the target, the bank, the top of the line, the top of the target. That moment changed me. Getting that money changed me. Also, spending the next 3 weeks in jail also changed me. Okay, I think it was 3 weeks and 3 days or something like that. Whatever it was, I robbed that bank, got this cold hard cash, and I went to jail for that time before coming out on bail. And something about it just changed me. And I'll be honest, like, the jail experience didn't really change me. Yeah, I went to jail where a lot of guys talk shit about, jail, you gotta be a gangster. How you gonna be a gangster and not go to jail? How you gonna be a gangster and not have a record? People used to talk a lot of shit. And then I did it. I went to jail. And I spent 3 weeks. And I was in general population. You know what I mean? And, and I got a taste for that cold hard cash. That is when the journey began. That is when I began. That was when my life began. Every year it was like something new happening. And eventually I reached this point. I'm so happy that I did what I did. And I ended up in this situation that I can live a legit life and live good. Yeah, I got that out of my system, the taste for cold hard cash. And I found my own route. Rather than love money how everybody around me was loving money and wanting money, I love money, wanted money, got money my way. At the top of the food chain, set it up with it took, that shit was 6 months in the making, man. That shit was 6 months in the making. It wasn't just the spur of the moment. It was 6 months in the making, right? And I'm talking before I got the idea. I mean, I got the idea before, maybe 8 or 9 months prior, but it was 6 months in the works, in the making. And I put it together, and we got a taste for cold hard cash, man. Yeah, I mean, robbery cash, you know what I mean? Bank cash, bank money, bank notes. It wasn't some convenience store or breaking into somebody's car, man. That was a bank, man. That was bank notes, man. That was government, Canadian, federal bank notes, cold hard cash, man. All right, I think I did this really good. Anyways, watch this, because this is fire, right?